Hello everybody, my name is Jill and welcome to my channel. Firstly, I have to mention that my cat is right there. He's right around the corner, he's behind a screen and he's meowing because he wants to come outside, but he cannot come outside. So if you hear very sad meowing, it's because he's being very loud right now. Number two, I am sick right now. You probably are able to tell once I mention it. It's in my voice. I've been coughing all day, every day for like 2 days now, and I think that my fever is finally broke, which is awesome. And number three, what was number three? Oh yeah, so I have made the decision, you guys, that I do not like my YouTube name anymore. I know, it's tragic, it's so sad. Actually, when I made my name on YouTube, I was not aware that a lot of people in the fish keeping hobby have like pretty much exactly the same name. Blank Fish Room, Jill's Fish Room. You know, I'm actually subscribed to a few people that have Fish Room in their name. So yeah, I feel kind of basic and I kind of want to change my name. So if anyone here could give me suggestions on something that is fish related, or, you know, honestly, I'm kind of thinking about changing my YouTube name to just Jill Does Things, because I don't care that much. I just don't want it to be Jill's Fish Room anymore. Anyways, in today's video, I kind of wanted to figure out how I should place my hardscape in my aquarium. Now, I have to say, I'm already kind of set on it being oriented like this. I really like the way that it looks like this. I'm gonna have this piece of wood kind of sticking up, and like I said in my previous video, it's gonna be kind of like the base of a tree trunk, and I'm just really excited about it. But the only problem is that there's this little tiny bit of wood down here that we have to chop off. So here in a second, I'm going to have my partner in crime help me out with that. Since I'm not a woodworking genius, he's a woodworking genius. He's going to cut off this little bit of wood for us so we can put this piece of driftwood in the tank. Sorry, I'm currently waiting for the pizza guy to get here because I've ordered pizzas and he's gonna deliver the pizzas right beyond this gate next to me, and I can see directly where he's gonna come in. So it's gonna be really awkward if I'm recording this video and he comes up and yeah, it's gonna be weird. But anyways, I digress. Before we get, my cat is so annoying right now. Before we get into the woodworking part of this video, I did kind of want to show you guys my aquarium that I have going on right now. It's a mess. It's a huge mess. I don't know if you could see at the angle that you were just looking at here a second ago, but this tank is filled with algae. And I know some of you guys were commenting, you were like, wow, your tank looks so great. I don't know how you keep your algae so maintained. And in my head, I was like, it absolutely is not maintained. Every few days, I am siphoning out the algae. You can see down here, not very well, that there's like this kind of slime algae. I'm not able to identify it. I might post pictures on my Instagram to see if you guys can help me identify this algae. You can see right here, it's kind of like blue-green, so I'm wondering if it's blue-green algae, and it's slimy, but it doesn't smell. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that one. I'm fertilizing this tank, and I'm also using CO2, as you can tell. So the algae is just loving it, and it's covering my plants too, which is a total shame. I'm afraid that it's gonna end up killing my plants. But the reason that I'm mentioning all the algae is because I am going to have to siphon out again all of this algae before I put in the hardscape. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys the BS that I go through for this tank. I just spent the last 2 hours of my life cleaning out as much of the algae as I possibly could. I've been draining a lot of the water. I hope by draining the water that I've taken out as a lot of the fertilizer, because I do think I've been over fertilizing. So hopefully a lot of the fertilizer is gone now. I'm going to refill the tank back up, and I'm going to finish the rest of this video just in a second. So not tonight, but tomorrow, but in this same video. Yeah, because it's been quite a lot of work doing this. But since I've done all this work, after I put my hardscape in tomorrow, I am going to be doing the blackout technique. So I'm going to be turning off all of the lights. I don't think I'll be providing any CO2 to this tank, and we're just going to see if we can kill the algae by not providing it any of the things that it needs to survive. So fingers crossed for that, and pray for me that my plants don't die, because I've been, these plants are my babies. All right, everyone, it is the day after I cleaned all of the algae out of this aquarium, and I kid you not, there's already algae growing and it's noticeable. And I'm gonna show you here right now what I mean. I mean, you might not be able to see too well, but there's algae growing. Actually, you can see. So here's all the algae, and on these plants last night, there was no algae, and now you can see the corners of the leaves are turning dark green again. And yeah, it's just a huge, huge pain to deal with, since, you know, I don't know. Anyways, that's just how it is when you have a planted aquarium. And honestly, I think it's kind of fun in a way, trying to balance out my tank and trying to figure out what I need to do more, what I need to do less of. I think one big thing I need to do is get this tank inside. It can't stay outside forever. And a few of you have also said, oh wow, it's so cool that you have an aquarium outside. Well, this isn't going to stay outside forever. This is kind of just a temporary thing. It is beautiful, but it's not going to be here forever. Like I said last night, today we are going to be fixing up this piece of driftwood. So this bottom bit down here is cut off, and I can sit it in the aquarium in a way that is hopefully gonna be looking good. I mean, the more that I look at this driftwood, the more that I feel like it's so big, like, and I've spent so long growing out my Monte Carlo that it's gonna be so sad destroying like a quarter of it to put this wood on top. But I think in the end, it's gonna be all worth it. What we want to cut off today is, it's very heavy. We wanna cut off this bit right here. Actually, yeah, so maybe like, here, hold it up like this, because I want to have it like this in the fish tank. I don't know if a drop saw is going to be good for this. That's what I was thinking. This bit, and then just leave that bit, but try to make that one kind of flat if you can.
Ready?
Yep.
Don't look. Safety squints engaged.
Thank you so much. Now that we've gotten the hardscape taken care of, we are going to put the hardscape in the aquarium. First things first, I'm going to take off the top two lids on this aquarium to make moving everything around a little tiny bit easier. So sad. I did not anticipate that this piece of driftwood would float for some reason. I think having it sat out has dried it out quite a bit, so now it's just a little bit buoyant, just a little bit. I think if I let it sit here for a few hours, maybe a day, that it would sink. But it looks really cool. It looks super cool. I kind of figured out a way that I'd like to have it, and I shoved it down into the substrate. You could see where it was shoved into the substrate right here with its little bit right there. I'm really antsy right now. I don't think I'm going to wait for it to sink. So I went through all of my little aquarium trinkets that I have, and I found a little cup of rocks that I've collected along with just random aquarium stuff. So I think I'm going to weigh down this stone with rocks, and then I'm gonna plant around it because I'm just too antsy. All right, let's see how it goes. This is what the pieces turned out to look like. Tell me why this is actually so cool looking. And I mean, I almost wouldn't want to take these rocks off because it's so cool, but I love it, don't you? This is like a mermaid weed, or I forgot what it's called. It's a mermaid something, but these are really cool. The stalk of these plants are very thick. They're very hard, and they're taking a bit longer to grow and actually do anything with their leaves. But what's happening, I think, is that they're growing these really strong root systems that were strong once upon a time, and now I've taken them out of their little planted homes. So I'm gonna try to get all these roots back down into the soil. I ended up planting the rest of my aquarium without recording it because when I'm doing something, I need to be listening to YouTube videos. I need to be giving my brain something, or else I'm just sitting and I'll get distracted. So instead of recording, I put on YouTube so I could listen to YouTube videos. But here is the final product. So we have the driftwood, obviously. She is beautiful. I was thinking about chopping a little bit more off the bottom so we didn't have that little tunnel down there. It's still not flat to the substrate, but I figure, I mean, it's kind of cool for one, and for two, my whole aquarium is going to be planted out. So you're not really going to be noticing how it's kind of awkwardly sitting. I really enjoyed planting out the spaces in the driftwood in between the little out branches of wood. I don't know what to call that. These little spaces that are empty. I really enjoyed planting these out because I feel like the final product is going to look so natural when it's all grown in and it's foresty and all that good stuff. All right, everyone, this is the end of my video. I'm not going to record myself putting the sheet over the aquarium. Just take my word for it. This aquarium is going to go full blackout for the next 3 days or so. So honestly, just like cross your fingers for me that this works, because I cannot deal with this algae problem any longer. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. If you hung out this long, give me a thumbs up if you like this, give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it, and give me a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, I mentioned in the beginning of this video that I am going to change my YouTube name, so if you have any recommendations for a new YouTube name for me, then drop that down in the comments as well, and see you in the next video.